Pa and Co., a Toronto-based business that produces baked goods, is your client. Their pastries, bagels, and croissants are well known. Given the detrimental effects of potassium bromate and amide on public health, the company is seeking to switch to producing clean label goods. The ability of these two essential elements to improve dough has helped their products stand out from that of the competitors. They want your opinion on a potential replacement to produce clean label products that can be used across multiple manufacturing facilities like their bakery, beer production facility, and the fruit juice center. Let's take a look at this case. So the problem setting here is Pa and Co wants to switch to producing clean label products, but they are looking for an alternative which cannot be just used in conditioning their dough, but across several products that they are manufacturing, like their alcoholic beverages and fruit juice center. Now, glucose oxidase is an enzyme which is derived from Aspergillus oryzae. And this, when added to food, is known to have a number of effects. In addition to extending the shelf life of a food product, it is also known to enhance dough texture and eliminate oxygen from a food product. So let's take a closer look at each of its applications in the food sector. The first ones that we are going to explore is use of glucose oxidase in bakery products. Our client wants to replace amide and potassium bromate from dough. Bromate and amide, they are used as dough conditioner for improving the texture. And how they improve the texture is by facilitating formation of disulfide linkages. So when glucose oxidase is used, it has the capacity to oxidize sulfur hydryl groups present in protein to form disulfide linkages. And if this disulfide linkage is formed, there is a polymer network of protein that is formed, eventually resulting in enhanced texture, dough texture. In addition to that, it is also known to produce hydrogen peroxide, which creates the necessary oxidizing conditions that provide those strengthening effects. Second is the use of glucose oxidase in alcoholic drinks as well as fruit juices. So, in alcoholic drinks and fruit juices, glucose oxidase is used as an oxygen scavenger, meaning it can attract oxygen from these molecules, which is otherwise responsible for causing oxidation of these products. And if oxygen is removed from these beverages, it can help prevent off flavors and off coloring associated with these products. Apart from that, it is also added to inner lining of containers or packaging material which are susceptible to metal leaching and oxidative damages. Third is its use as a preservative, which we will explore a little bit more in depth. Glucose oxidase, as we all know, is an enzyme which has specificity for beta D glucose, and it reacts with beta D glucose only in presence of oxygen. Therefore, it's called beta D oxidoreductase. So, what happens is beta D glucose plus oxygen is oxidized to yield hydrogen peroxide and beta D gluconodelta-lactone. This beta D gluconodelta-lactone in presence of water yields gluconic acid. So what in the first step we get hydrogen peroxide and in the second step we get gluconic acid. Both are known to have antimicrobial activity. So let's see how they assist in preservation of food for a long time. But before we go to that, let's try to understand some of the features of this enzyme, which is glucose oxidase. This enzyme is active at a pH range between 4 to 7.5. Since the enzyme depends a lot on oxygen, the activity of the enzyme is better at lower temperatures as oxygen is more soluble at lower temperatures. Now, when hydrogen peroxide is formed, the amount of hydrogen peroxide that is formed plays a very crucial role in determining how how much antimicrobial activity it possesses. So the amount of hydrogen peroxide that is formed depends on the concentration of substrate, which is your glucose, and the amount of enzyme. If the concentration of substrate and enzyme are optimal, then there is production of hydrogen peroxide. But if the concentration of enzyme is excess, then there is rapid exhaustion of the substrate, meaning there is no production of hydrogen peroxide, meaning there is no antimicrobial activity. The antimicrobial activity of hydrogen peroxide is function of pH, temperature, and the concentration of hydrogen peroxide that is present. Since pH and temperature are continuously monitored at industrial level, let's see how these factors impact the activity of hydrogen peroxide. Activity of hydrogen peroxide is said to increase with increase in temperature, and it decreases with decrease in pH. So what is the mechanism of action of hydrogen peroxide on microbial cell? Hydrogen peroxide is known to interfere with electron transport system of ATP generation. So you have flavin adenosine dinucleotide that participates in oxidation reactions in the electron transport chain of ATP generation. This FAD molecule is subjected to alternating oxidation reduction reactions, thereby resulting in reduced energy formation and eventually microbial cell death. Coliforms that catalase negative organisms are the most sensitive to hydrogen peroxide. Catalase positive organisms, they are not very sensitive because they are able to produce an enzyme called catalase that can break down hydrogen peroxide into water. The second product, which is your gluconic acid, this is often used as sweetener in products meant for diabetics. And the way it helps in preservation of food is by lowering the pH. It is essentially to extend it's essentially used to extend shelf life of certain sea products like shellfish and fish by reducing pH. Thank you for staying with me through the video. In case you have any queries, please feel free to put them in the comment section and I'll get back at the earliest.